A special episode of Muddy River Catfishing. Today I have Luke with Cats and Carp, and if you may or may not have seen his channel, but he has a YouTube channel as well, and he does a lot of fishing for catfish and carp, hence the name. But tell us a little bit about your channel, Luke.
Yeah, so we do a lot of catfishing, carp fishing, but a little bit of bank fishing, a little bit of boat fishing. My son Tommy, I think, has more of a fan base than I do. He steals the show, and we do a little bit of tutorials and just some fun get out and fish videos too.
Cool deal. Where are you guys fishing out of?
Oh yeah, Northern Virginia is where I'm based at, and but I try to get out and travel a little bit, try different spots. So.
Yeah, I did see one where you were in Alaska.
Yeah, from Alaska originally, so born and raised. So we got to do a fishing video there. Got to do one in California recently. I had a shark fishing trip down in Florida recently too, so it's good to do a little multi-species fishing and travel a little bit.
Nice. Tell me about that shark. What was it, a black tip?
Yeah, we had sandbar sharks and spinner sharks, and ended up getting 6 sharks in one night with some guys doing off the beach shark fishing. As basically just like catfishing. You got your pole and a rod holder and a big chunk of bait out there. And just a little bigger. It bite you.
Oh yeah, they put up a bigger fight.
It was it was the same sort of principles. The same sort of thing. Just same sort of gear, just a little bigger.
What would you say one of your most controversial videos was?
The worm taser one was up there. I'm not an electrician, and I built this thing that you take a bunch of screwdrivers and wires and you plug them into a 120 volt outlet, and if you're not dead, the worms come up out of the ground and you collect worms. So it's a really extremely dangerous way to save $4 on worms. So there's at any rate, so don't try it at home. It actually turns out somebody had invented one of those, used to sell them at Bass Pro, and it killed like 30 people. And so it was more of an entertainment video than an instructional video. But yeah, it's so weird, the different cultures with fishermen too, because you're getting an international audience. Probably about 30% of my audience is over in Europe and the UK because of the carp fishing. It's really popular over there. And over there, it's like you stroke the carp, you name it. They have like little first aid kits they sell. Wow. So when the carp gets a little hole in his mouth from your hook, you can put ointment on it and cure him up. And so there, if we use unhooking mats, so like these big foam mats that you put the fish on to unhook them. Mm-hmm. And if you do a video without an unhooking mat in it, you'll be called all sorts of nasty British swear words, which I'm getting pretty fluent in right now. But the catfishermen, no problem at all. And so that's one thing that's been really controversial. When I started, I realized I better do this Euro style with unhooking mats or anything, or I'll just be deleting angry British comments all day.
Man, I hope they don't watch my videos. I use those things for bait.
Oh yeah, they go bonkers. They go bonkers in there. Dead serious, man. If you don't have micro mesh nets, unhooking mats, and a lot of them really want those first aid kits, and so they take it very serious over there.
So it sounds to me like carp fishing, because I'm not a big carp fisherman. I fish for carp out of necessity. It's when I need bait, and that's pretty much it. But it sounds to me like it's just this whole nother world, carp fishing.
Yeah, it is, but there's a lot of crossover, and that's why I do the catfish and the carp fishing, is because I took a trip over to England, and I went walking through the tackle shops, and they've got like these electronic bite alarms. Mm-hmm. Well, as a catfisherman, I took one look at that and said, I know what to do with an electronic bite alarm. I could use that. And then they have these really nice rod holders, and they've got the bait runner reels over there, really nice quality bait runner reels for much lower price than they do in the U.S. And a lot of the rods and the reels and the stuff like that, it's all bank fishing. It's all the same sort of thing. So there's a lot of crossover. And then, they're big fish, a big carp is fun, and you can go to places that are very pressured, just crawling with bass fishermen, crawling with cat fishermen, and you're the only person fishing for carp. Right. And the carp don't see you coming at all. You just get to have a place to yourself, 20-pound fish and no crowds.
Wow. So. Yeah, one thing that I get asked a lot is what do I recommend as a bait for carp? And I really can't answer that. When I go fishing, it's the basics. I'll either fish for carp with corn or with worms, and I do okay. And I'm out to catch. I don't want the big ones. I want this size and down, and so that works for me. But I have people that actually want to catch these big carp, and they're asking me what baits to use or what rigs to use, and I really don't have an answer for them.
Well, feed corn's a really good cheap one in the U.S. You know, you can go down to Walmart during hunting season or any feed store and get a 40, 50 pound bag of feed corn for about $10. And you take that and soak it overnight, boil it, and it plumps up real soft. That feed corn makes a fabulous carp bait. You'll actually catch a lot of channel cats on that too. I've killed it on the channel cats on that as well. And boilies are another fun one. If you want a specifically manufactured carp bait, boilies are really good. But once again, I catch a lot of carp on boilies. My biggest flathead was a 53 pounder, was on a mulberry flavored boilie that big and the number 8 hook. You know, I mean, and so it's really anti-intuitive because, you know, I use those 10-aught hooks with cut bait too and all that stuff, but little hooks and corn can sometimes kill the big fish too.
Yeah. It's to me, it's a whole nother ball game there.
Yeah,
and carp, I've noticed, you know, when I'm fishing for them, one of the videos that I did, and I think you did one too, was fishing with popcorn. And I noticed that if you don't have a very small hook, that it's almost imperceptible to them.
Yeah.
They'll see that and they won't eat your bait.
Oh yeah, it's a big deal, and the guys over Europe, because there's such pressured lakes over there, those carp are much wilier than over here. They're a little naive over here, but they'll do nice little tricks like you have a bit of bread, and they'll put a little bit of lead shot hidden inside the bread, so that when it floats hook side up. So the hook is on the top, and the fish can't see it from underneath.
Nice.
And without the lead shot, the hook weighs it down, so the hook's on the bottom. So you know, there's all sorts of little tricks, but you can also just take like a little piece of foam, rubber, or foam from out of a, you know, like any little piece of white foam that looks like a piece of white bread.
Packaging or something?
Yeah, or like in furniture, like, you know, the stuff that makes the furniture, the seat soft, that foam there, and you rip off a little chunk and stick a hook through it, and it looks like a piece of white bread, and it won't come off the hook. The fish can't tear it off the hook, doesn't get soggy, and that's a real good trick. So.
Pretty neat, huh? Moving in over here from Alaska, I guess, what got you into catfish?
Well, you know, I like big fish, and I cannot lie. You know, I like big fish, and I grew up fly fishing, actually. Oh yeah. But you know, I grew up fly fishing for trout, and you know, and salmon and all that stuff, and I really enjoyed it. And I come down to the lower 48, and you're like, it's not Alaska, you know?
Yeah.
But I've never seen a catfish before. So, you know, I wasn't particularly impressed by the trout fishing down here.
Yeah.
But you see a catfish, I was like, I've never seen one of those before. So I'm like, well, that's cool. That's different. That's new. I want to try that. And then they're big fish.
Yeah.
And so I got into it that way. And then the carp fishing, kind of the same reason, you know? I like big fish. I like stuff that just rips the drag, and, you know?
Well, guys, this is Luke from catsandcarp.com. You have a website, right?
Yeah, catsandcarp.com, yep.
Yeah, so check out his website, check out his YouTube channel, and as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.